What'd you think of the Brady roast? Did you see it?
Oh, I thought it was great. I didn't watch the whole thing in real time, but being a St. Louis comedian, Nikki Glaser's been on my radar for a while, and I think she's the roast goat. Like I think she's the one you don't want to see at your roast, right?
Yes.
It's like if I had a roast, not that I'm important enough to have a roast, but if they had Nikki Glaser there, I'm like, I'm out. I'm sick.
She brings
death in the family.
She brings the gun to the knife fight. Yeah, she does. She's amazing.
Yeah. And you know, Jules certainly made an impression. There were some bombs that were dropped. I mean, like, I thought Tom was a pretty good sport about it.
Oh my God.
I think it was pretty fun.
So, as a former Patriot, I'm curious to get your 2 cents on my take of it. Sitting there, I felt like I was in the midst of a therapy session, like I strolled into somebody's therapy session. That there was, well, even when Edelman just looked at Belichick doing his imitation, and before he hits his punchline, he literally said the words, "I've been waiting so long for this," is what he said.
One of the things the Patriots do so well or did so well with Bill and that group was like a lot was unsaid. You know, it was said privately, or, you know, even some of I gathered that kind of like some of the tensions or whatever, what have you, weren't really talked about. They were kind of like, they just kind of like existed. And I think when the whole band broke up, it would stink if they couldn't get back together and joke around and, you know, like, and, you know, share a stage. I think that was really cool. And like to have Bill, I mean, his delivery was like, it was his first time doing a roast, but I thought his joke was killer about the documentary.
Yeah.
I thought he held his own.
Yeah, and the joke of like everybody keeps wondering, you know, who was more responsible for the dynasty? Was it Tom? Was it me? It's the both of us because of me. That was just, I fell out of my seat when he said that. I fell out of my seat. You know,
and you know, it's like it's cool to see Bill in these spaces, right? Like to see Bill on TV, to see Bill do College Game Day was awesome. Like a lot of people were like, "Is he going to be good at this?" I was like, "Just watch." And he put that helmet on, and you're like, it again. I said this before he started doing this, but the scarcity, you know, that factor, you don't hear from him. You know, he's not up at the podium. That's not his job. So for decades, we've been like, what would it be like to see Bill joke around and just be Bill? And now, like, you get to see that. And you can see Tom and all these guys engaging in, like, whatever the next chapter is. Like, Jules's podcast is great. Tom's going to be doing God knows what for the next 10 years. He's going to be doing something big in TV or whatever. And so I think it's really cool. And then Gronk gets to work with my dad. It's been pretty fun watching these guys matriculate to like the post-football stage.
Although Bill's line also saying, you know, I'm famous for saying do your job, but Gronk, I've seen you on Fox. Stop doing your job. Do someone else's job. Please stop doing your job.
Gross.
It's so funny. I didn't see that one.
Yes. He's like, I'm famous for saying do your job, but hey, Gronk, I've seen you on Fox. Please stop doing your job.
Hey, listen, my dad loves Gronk. Like, just enamored with Gronk. Like,
why not?
They had like a Bahamas retreat at Fox, and Gronk was down there. And the first time my dad comes back, he could have been talking about anything. He's like, Gronk's huge, man. He's just out on the beach, just huge. That guy's just a mountain. Like, there's nobody like Gronk. Like, I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, Dad, your favorite part of going to work is Rob Gronkowski. It's amazing.
I don't blame him. And then also, just before we move on here, the fact that Bill stayed on the dais, where you put yourself right in somebody's sights, where he could have literally done his thing and pirouetted and walked out, which Peyton Manning did and Ben Affleck did. But he then took a seat between Gronk and Randy Moss, and the slings and the arrows did not stop coming in his direction. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was like who's who of, you know, people on stage. You know, there were a ton of comedians up there.
Oh my God.
And then there's guys like, I think I saw Nate Solder. I was like, Nate, are you going to
Oh yeah,
Matt Light.
Yeah, Light was there, and so was Dan Copen was there.
Yeah, Copen. Yeah,
Amendola was there.
Rodney Harrison.
Right, yeah, Rodney.
There.
Oh yeah, Willie McGinnis too. It was great to see him. And then Bob Kraft came up and they did a shot. Now that one was. I figured that there's still some water under the bridge, but it still was great to see. You know what I mean? That's the way I was sitting there.
Yeah, there's a little water under the bridge, I'm sure.
Right. Chris Long
but
here.
At the end of the day, it's football.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean,
people spend decades with each other. If you can't find some common ground out of that and, be able to like laugh and get together once a year, I don't care what happened. You guys won championships. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.